We're going to stick with police. In this case, Austin, a cop caught assaulting his 2-year-old son on security camera. For KVUE News, an investigation into Officer Cameron Caldwell, the Austin Police Department, APD, continues. Its court documents reveal what led to his arrest. Cedar Park police stated Caldwell turned himself into the Williamson County Jail following an incident at his Cedar Park home. Sounds like there was more than an incident.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
APD said it is aware of the criminal investigation involving Caldwell and is cooperating with Cedar Park Police. Per standard protocol, APD said it has placed Caldwell on restricted duty and has initiated an administrative investigation into the matter. Court documents obtained by KVUE reveal authorities were called out to Caldwell's home on Monada Trail June 17th for reports of child abuse. The mother of Caldwell's 2 children told officers she had video of him abusing their children, including one video of great concern. The mother then provided police with 5 videos from a Nest camera set up inside the children's bedroom. One video allegedly showed Caldwell's 2-year-old son trying to shield himself from his father before being picked up and violently struck in the buttocks. Caldwell allegedly hit his son 8 times before dropping him to the ground. Video shows Caldwell's son crying hysterically, trying to crawl away before Caldwell picks him up and slams him on the mattress. Caldwell then hits his son in the face 3 times before covering him with a blanket, according to court documents. Restrictive duty. During an interview with Caldwell's 4-year-old son, the boy told investigators his dad threw a monster truck at his back. He also allegedly said he gets hit a lot when he gets in trouble and is forced to do push-ups by Caldwell. 4-year-old accused Caldwell of slapping him in the face on the left side of his cheek. August 2016. Caldwell was suspended 45 days after he pepper sprayed a handcuffed man, Chicago native Tyrone Wilson, in the face during South by Southwest. Video showed Wilson, who was arrested on a misdemeanor charge of resisting arrest in the back of a police wagon when Caldwell opened the door and told him to stop kicking it. We don't know. We've seen that tactic before. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Moments later, the 2 men had another exchange during which Caldwell used pepper spray on Wilson. Meanwhile, per the Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago police officer Jose Moreno faces dismissal for allegedly attacking his pregnant girlfriend and abusing her. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability recommended his firing earlier this year, stating that his history of domestic violence should not be tolerated. And that's a good word. It's being tolerated. A history. These are the people you want to send out to police the rest of us. Higher standard, anyone? Most egregiously, he strangled the woman, causing her airway to be obstructed, and physically abused her while pregnant. Both acts indicating of escalating lethality. I can't even say the word. He was trying to kill her, or at least she thought she was going to die. Copa said in the report dated February 26th. The officer minimized his conduct and did not take accountability for his actions. Jail anyone? Charges anyone? Prosecutor anyone? Oh, that's right. Everyone's like kind of in bed with each other, so it's a little hard to prosecute your friends. I depend on them to give me evidence and to go get the bad guys the way I tell them to do it. December 2021, the woman told Chicago police that Moreno had choked her and kicked her in the ribs that October, according to Copa. She also recalled another incident in which he allegedly menaced her with a gun while he was holding one of their children. Chicago Sun-Times with the reporting here. She filed an emergency order of protection the next day. Moreno was arrested and charged in January 2022. Okay, about a month later. So they did something. Court records show the protection order has since been vacated. And the misdemeanor battery case was dropped within months? Am I confusing things here? Or did I say that he choked her with lethal force, kept escalating? She said what happened. Misdemeanor. Kicked her in the ribs, pregnant, held a gun. Was it his police service weapon? Who knows? Holding one of her children at the time. Vacated within months. Dropped. Marino remains on active duty. I have to read the rest. The team put this together. They want you to know everything. I'm going to try to get through this. He earns $97,926 annually. That's according to city records. A police spokesman said he's detailed to the alternative response section, a unit staffed by cops with disciplinary issues and those not medically cleared for full duty. We got to find a place for him and pay him $100,000, even when they're accused of trying to kill the public. That's what the mother of his children would say. He tried to kill me. COPA opened its investigation after the woman reported the officer to police, and she later detailed a pattern of abusive behavior that had allegedly stretched for years. I believe you. They do too. They just didn't want to do anything about it. The woman said Moreno locked her out of their home in the spring of 2021 when she was pregnant and came outside holding a gun with one hand and their child in the other. She also reported that the officer punched her in the back around the same time. We'll just put him in this unit over here where, he'll still get his money because, we don't want to take his money. And he's still officially a cop. Alternative response? July 2021, just 4 days after she gave birth, she said Moreno tormented her and kicked her out of the home. I'm going to make your life a living hell until you get out of here, he allegedly said. At one point, he recorded her crying with one of their kids present as she held a knife, according to the report. She told him she grabbed the weapon because you're telling me to kill myself, and I'm tired of all this S. Following month, Moreno attacked her when she tried to record another fight, Copa said. At one point, he punched her in the wrist and thigh while trying to get her phone. During the incident that October that led to his arrest, the couple started arguing and the officer choked her. She said it lasted approximately 5 seconds and she could not breathe. Moreno then pushed her to the floor, kicked her near her rib cage, according to the oversight agency. He eventually took her keys, packed her bags, and told her to leave. But she later returned for her children. Among others, sustained allegations, they sustained this. Copa found the officer punched the woman while she was pregnant, choked her, and kicked her. But we got to find a place for him. Officers are under a lot of stress. It's a very dangerous job. If you're a girlfriend in this case, it's real dangerous. If you're the mother of someone's child or wife, real dangerous. The Sun-Times notes it wasn't immediately known whether police Superintendent Larry Snelling agreed with the finding. Who gives a if Larry Snelling agreed? Who cares? They investigated it. They sustained this. Whoa, make it make sense. What does an officer with a badge, a gun, protection, ability to kill, police, and torment and abuse members of the public without repercussion, what does it take for them to be out of here like you or I would be in a regular job?
If I'm going to take the most cynical stance that the police would say play devil's advocate, if you will, they would say that look, one, this is what we hear all the time from these people. It's a tough job. It's a scary job. They see the worst of society on a day-to-day, like they're confronting the worst of situations on a day-to-day basis. It's so freaking hard. And because of that fact, the powers that be feel like their officers, their foot soldiers, if you will, have to feel empowered. They have to feel like that they can take certain measures and the brass and management will quote unquote have their back. These people would say they can't have officers out there acting timid or, behaving with some level of restraint, because if they did, they can't perform the job. And that's why they fight for them tooth and nail to not be fired, even after the most egregious of crimes and accusations like this, like beating up your wife or your girlfriend or the mother of your children is absolutely insane. Strangling them to the point of, suffocation and even death, as you mentioned, but abusing children, like the idea that I thought that was the worst that we could do. These are the most vulnerable people of our population, a 2-year-old child. That doesn't rise to the level of, hey man, I don't think you should be associated with our organization anymore. It just tells you how they feel. They feel like their officers should be empowered to do whatever they want out in the public.
Yeah, and the argument you laid out sounds perfectly reasonable if you're Samuel Alito and Clarence Thomas, and you've just declared the United States president a king, a monarch. You don't want to chill his power to act. Even when he commits a crime, well, you can't really do anything about it. That's how it feels. You're charged with protecting. I want them to take that protect and serve off of the vehicles. I demand it, okay? Whoever has that trademark, can you pull it? I don't want the police using it anymore, because this does not sound like protect and serve. It sounds like we are the kingmakers and we decide what to do to you. And the only reason that guy was arrested was because that smart mama bear had that Nest camera, so they couldn't make that go away. But it'll go away eventually. Charges drop.